I guess we're just gonna hop into it. So they announced friggin' Bloodstained 2 or whatever. I'm gonna be moving my face cam around and whatever while we watch this. I want to watch the trailer. I've already seen this. I was spoiled. Sorry, it's not gonna be a live, honest reaction or whatever. But they're finally they announced that they were working on a new Bloodstained project. But they're finally like showcasing footage of it, and I have a lot of questions. I'm very concerned about a few things. I'm very excited about a few things as well. I as somebody who has played Bloodstained, I am very, if anything, that game provided me with a lot of emotions and entertainment, technically. So I'm not necessarily, I don't want this to be bad. I want this game to be good because I care a lot about how Igarashi cooks up games and such, because he has created some of my favorite games, and also my favorite game of all time. So I want this to be good. Trust me, I really do. But let's just watch it. Let's just take a look. Let's just take a quick little look with the announcement trailer. First thing, I will be pausing.
The castle has been sighted again.
This guy, they put him through the fucking Giga Chad filter. Why does he look like this? Honest question, why does he look like this? What? My man's fucking... Huh? Why they didn't need to they said this is the peak male design, and whether you like it or not, something I don't know. It's just kind of weird. This is actually a bit of a aside about the art style of the announcement trailer, not like being meshed with the art style of the game in a weird way. Like I think they must have just hired a team, just some outside team or something, or maybe they just buffed up their internal team to work on like the character designs in like this, like in cutscenes, because it's completely separated from what the gameplay looks like.
Absolute. These human sacrifices must be stopped.
It just looks a little off, is all I'm saying. It's a very uncanny feeling, the same feeling that I get when I look at AI slop. So I'm not saying this is AI slop, because I don't believe it is, but it's the same like hyper realistic details, but also cartoony, but also like everything is like weirdly blurred. They all have the correct amount of fingers, thank you, mind you, because the absolute whiplash of emotions of being like, okay, this looks weird, but also kind of interesting, I guess. And then bam, it's like all of a sudden Bloodstained. And you know what I mean by all of a sudden Bloodstained, because there is a particular artistic stink, I will call it, that these games have, which is they are unreadable to look at. There is too much going on here. Here's a question. I'm going to do a little bit of a hold. I'm going to make the screen just a tiny bit smaller for you guys. And where's the character? Where's the character that you are controlling? Can you point? Is it immediately obvious where your character is? Do you know which direction they're facing? Do you know where they're going? Do you know what is ground, what is foreground, what is background? No, because it is unreadable, dude. There is too much going on. What?
Track the ethereal castle.
I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up. This screenshot right here.
We will track the ethereal castle.
Why is the background the busiest? Like, there's too much detail in the background. You have to blur this shit or something. It'll be not that bad when you're actually the one controlling it and playing it, but looking at it, it's like, why is there so much detail down here? Why is there... I'm not complaining that they added a lot of detail or whatever. It's the fact that it is, like, blurry, messy, grimy looking, and, like, the outlines of the characters don't stand out very well at all comparatively. There's not a lot of color in the characters either, so they don't pop from like a color contrast perspective. It's really strange. It's very, very, very strange. And I don't want to be like, hey, guy who compares every thing to fucking Hollow Knight, but it's like, it is so obvious and clear when you're playing a game like Hollow Knight where your character is, what they are doing, what direction they're facing, what is the foreground, what is the background. The amount of blur going on in the background helps so much. The simplification of shapes, so you know that this is a platform you can stand on. Oh, so beautiful, so succinct. I'm not saying they needed to go with this kind of art style, even though at a time, there was a time where Bloodstained did kind of. They did kind of. It's that time is long gone. I'm old enough to remember it, but they did kind of advertise a specific art style.
Oh Lord, he's coming!
They very much
He's
did.
coming! What do I do?
They really did.
Help!
They said, hey, don't worry, this is concept art. But they very much did kind of say, hey, we're going for this like 2.5D, 3D kind of effect, whatever, blah, blah, blah. This never came to fruition, which is fine. I'm willing to accept that is fine. But like, you gotta make it look better than the last game. You have to. You have to. Thank you, Ramirez, for the tier 1 sub. I appreciate you. It feels like too much detail is an aesthetic waste of effort. Like, kind of. That's kind of where I'm getting at. Like, this doesn't necessarily need to look bad. It's just when you have so much detail put into a game, but you don't take the time to make sure it fits in cohesively with the art style of the characters and make sure that it's readable is my two big problems. Not everybody has this problem, by the way. Not everybody feels like claustrophobic and overwhelmed when they look at screenshots of this game. But to me, there is way too much going on, and I just want a game that is readable, right? It can also be beautiful at the same time, but there's just something about, I think, the lack of color contrast, the lack of outlines on the characters, the lack of blur on certain things in the background to like very much distinguish, like at a glance, it's hard to tell if like this is supposed to be the platform or not necessarily, right? Like it's kind of going to be like a weird trial and error thing. I don't like it. This room's not as bad. This room genuinely not as bad. There's something weird going on with like the foreground like floor tiles, but other than that, it's, you know, not it could be worse.
Exterminate the creatures that dwell within.
I hope that's just I hope that's not part of the game. Like, I don't want them to go into cinematic.
I'm coming.
Thank you, RJ Chaos. I really don't want them to go into these cinematic angles and whatnot. This screenshot also, the enemy has like a better outline and like silhouette to describe where the enemy is. But again, like there's some weird, I think part of it, and I'll get into it. I didn't really organize my thoughts. I apologize. Part of it is the fact that two characters are on the screen at the same time can maybe make it a little bit harder to tell what exactly is going on. But this area does look slightly better, at the very least, to tell like what's foreground, what's not.
Eliminate the creatures that dwell within.
But that's this cinematic angle thing. I hope they're not doing this often.
The demon lord himself will fall by a...
But the trailer is showing a lot of cinematic angles and stuff. It again. Is this an enemy or is this part of the background? Is this an enemy or part of the background? Is this an enemy or part of the background? Is this something you can interact with or part of the background? Is this interactable or part of the back? How do you know? How are you supposed to know? It's not clear or readable to me. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm crazy and maybe everyone else finds it to be perfectly fine and acceptable. But like, am I part of the background? Hold on, let me double check. I think I might be. Let me go into the background now. No, sorry, I'm not part of the background. I just checked. Let me move my face out of the way. It's just... I will say the gameplay looks good. From like a core mechanical perspective, it looks fine. It looks like the Igarashi classic. It looks like it'll be primo Metroidvania gameplay, which is fine. I don't have any worries that Igarashi will cook up good gameplay. The issue, to me, with Bloodstained has always been the aesthetic. And I'm not somebody who cares much about, like, good graphics, whatever, blah, 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 don't make a good video game or whatever. But the aesthetic matters, because you're going to be using your eyeballs to sink in the information of the game the entire time you play it. Unless I learn to play the game blindfolded, which, you know, maybe I should, but it's just...
This mission will test the limits of your courage. All by our hand.
This doesn't look that bad.
Mission will test the limits of your courage.
But some areas look way better than others. Like, I don't know. I don't think there needs to be this much outlining and detail on each individual leaf. You know what I mean? Right? Especially if it's just background information that you could, you know, like the example with the where is it? Here. Like, do you need individual, like, do you need to see the pores on all of these mushrooms? No. But you still understand that that this is like some sort of, you know, It gives a vibe to the background that you don't necessarily need. Even things like this, like the individual leaves here are kind of standing out, but like not taking up too much visual information from the player, and they blend into the background and get blurry into the background as the background recedes. You know what I mean? Where I feel like there's just something uncanny about the way Bloodstained does it, because there's like no blurring on like these back here necessarily. Like it looks blurry because of YouTube's encoding, but it's not actually like blurring the objects as they get farther away. And then we're back to this cinematic.
Beyond your darkest imaginings.
Completely different art style, which is just, again, like it's whiplash.
Beasts that defy reason.
By the way, this is my original character, guys. This is my OC. Do not steal. Please do not steal. Very important. Don't steal my super mega official OC. Where is he? Oh, yeah. Unknown Monarch. I want you guys to understand this is my OC, Unknown Monarch. Not to be confused with any other types of characters from any of the other franchises. Nameless King. Who's that? I've never heard of him. This is my character, Unknown Monarch, okay? Get it straight. Come on, guys. Be real. A guy with a spear riding on the back of a dragon in armor like that. Different guy. Clearly. Everyone's going to love this character. I'm sure there's going to be a website full of artist rendition of her. And honestly, send them to me. Oh, my. Igarashi knows how to do one thing and one thing well, and it's make beautiful assets. Beautiful game assets. Yeah, it seems like they're really leaning into this whole cinematic combat style, which I don't think is a good idea because the game looks bad. I'm sorry. Sorry, I went mask off there for a second. Yeah, no, I don't think you don't want to. You don't. You know? The gameplay looks good. They're bringing back the like right stick / mouse movement controls. Pop quiz: is this chest a breakable thing that you can get items out of, or is it just part of the background? Answer now. Answer now. What is this? Is this an interactable part of the video game, or is it just background? Okay, they're French. It's an openable chest. Would you put your life on it? When the game comes out, if that chest isn't openable, are you willing to be banned? Because to me... Okay, it is an openable chest. I've been owned by Facts and Logic. I wanted to say, this... Again, the cinematic stuff, it's kind of hard to tell, why is that door interactable? Like, art style-wise, it's like, doesn't have the same cell shading outline as like everything else. Maybe that's the part that like, it's kind of uncanny that everything has these like cell shaded, thick outline vibes to them. And then this door is just like rendered completely differently. It's weird. Yeah, and you can interact with the chests. I was just proven wrong by Facts and Logic. I've been owned. My bad. I think those cinematic trailers are just for the... It's just trailer material, maybe. Also, dude, new... oh, God. New art style jump scare. Because that's completely different, right? From in-game footage. Like, the art style feels so... Maybe it's just the way it's shaded or something, and maybe it's the same model. I can't tell what's going on here. It's just weird. I do like all the different outfits. It's cute, though.
With me. Cross.
Are you sure the cinematic shit is just for the trailer? This feels like this is going to be gameplay. They're putting this shit in the game, 100%. If I'm wrong and these cinematic effects are not part of the gameplay, I will gift you guys 100 subs. This feels like they put this much effort into it because it's part of the game. This is a cutscene that plays out in the game when you use this attack. 100%. And then new animation. We've been talking about this for 15 minutes. It's a 2-minute trailer. I'm sorry. Also, the Scarlet Engagement is it's a name. Could be worse. I don't know. How do I feel about this? It is a very concerned out of 10 because I feel like the biggest issues I had with the original are not being fixed here, which is mostly the way it looks.
So you've come, Trogs.
I didn't come. I'll be honest. Watching this, completely dry.
The church, right into the palm of my hand.
I would never come into the palm of any hands, personally. Yeah, no, I just feel a little underwhelmed and concerned, but at the very least, it looks like I'm scared about these cinematics, but there are parts that don't look too bad. This is messy. Which character do you control right here? Do you guys know? Can you tell at a glance which character you're controlling? My guess is this one because the outline is slightly thicker, maybe? If it's both at the same time, that's going to be very strange. Because this feels like it's supposed to be Portrait of Ruin, right? Like it's a Portrait of Ruin type where you have one character up front and then you switch back and forth between them. From screenshot, no, but in action, probably. You'll have the context of having controlled them before, but like that's the issue for me is I want the game to be readable, not only for the person playing it, but also people watching it, because that is a big part of the enjoyment of these games, right? Especially for somebody who wants to stream these games. Like I don't play the original Bloodstained much because it's not good to look at. Even if I have fun playing it, at a certain point, my eyes kind of feel weird looking at the game for too long. And like watching the game, it's like so messy, especially streaming it with like low bitrate and stuff like that, because there's so much detail on the screen, too much detail on the screen, that it like eats up bitrate and stuff like that. It's just not, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a hater. It's very possible. Like, I'm not saying every game needs to be as beautiful as Hollow Knight, but like when you looking at them side by side is fucking crazy, right? Like maximalist detail, like how do you even know, like particle effects, things look insane. Like here's another problem that I have with these types of games is how do you know where the hitboxes are of things, right? As somebody who wants to care about like playing these games at like maybe in a fast way or even just like competently in any sort of regard to feel like I have control over my characters. Do you know where the hitboxes are based off of the 3D models, based off of this? Is this a hitbox? Where does the hitbox start and end? It's hard to tell because it's kind of blurry and like bright. The bloom is too high. You know what I mean? Like, having a game be readable is very important for the gameplay feel, which is one of the problems that I have with these types of games, is that they are fun to play if you ignore the fact that looking at them actively confuses your brain as to what is where and what's going on. But, you know, whatever. Dude, look at this background. It is... It's a lot. It's too much. It's just too much to look at. I don't know, man. It's just too much to look at. Maybe I am being an armchair game designer. I'm not denying that, but also it's like they've been working on this game and the old game since when did they open this shit? It was like 2013, I want to say. 2014? Something like that. 2015? Yeah, it's been 10 years. And, like, this project does not look 10 years advanced from the last one by any means, right? It doesn't look 5 years advanced from the last one. It looks like they made new assets using the same exact, like, in the same exact way that they did the last one. And to me, the art assets is the biggest problem to the game. It's tough. But it's damn sexy to look at? I disagree. This is sexy to look at because it's simple. It's simple and it evokes exactly what needs to be evoked in the moment, right? Like, I don't know, man. This isn't too bad. Like, I like the assets of the floating skulls in this screenshot. I think this style is very different from how they render like their characters and whatnot, which is another problem. Is that that's the other aspect, is that the art style doesn't feel very cohesive. Like the way the environments look feels very at odds to the way that the character models look, because the character models I feel like don't have nearly the same amount of detail because they want them to be like simplified, but like they also have like a lot of details that don't make it through. Like what's going on with this character's like shoulder plate? Is it a shoulder plate? Is it like a piece of their armor that's different? Can you tell immediately how this is supposed what is going on with their costume? Like, is this armor? Is this a jacket? You know what I mean? It's just it's the character designs themselves don't get to like stand out because it's too much detail and it's too messy. You know? Ugh. It is easy to blur a 2D thing. It's hard with 3D. Do you know how they made? What? First of all, source. Where's your source in that? It's probably I made it up. I'm calling it now. 2, do you know how they made Hollow Knight? Are you aware of the process of what Hollow Knight is? Because you're not going to like it. It's a fucking 3D game, my guy. It's a 3D game using 2D art, but the game was designed in three dimensions. The background layers are physically separated from each other in the game. I could pull it up somewhere. I'd have to look up the... there's like a video that describes it, but... Oh, man. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. It doesn't help the fact that like this is being watched through a YouTube video and like YouTube encoding is like making this messier than it should be, and you guys are now watching it through either another stream or another YouTube video. But man, oh man, is it just like, I don't know. It's very messy. Oh yeah, Unknown Monarch. Yeah, that's all I got. But you know what else? Call me a hater, but at the very least, the gameplay is good in these games, correct? Let's watch some gameplay footage. This is a speedrun from Hoprapra, I think is how you say that, an any % speedrun of Bloodstained. We love speedruns in this channel. Let's just watch a speedrun and see how it goes, because we love the gameplay, right? Let's take a look. Backdash cancels, PogChamp. I love backdash cancels. Yup. Again, the encoding here is tough because there's too much going on. Oops. But it's fine. It's fine. You know, some video games, like Mega Man 2, has that problem with its rain sections. So far, nothing too crazy. Lots of backdash movement. Oh, you got to see a little bit of a sequence break there with the double jump glitch. If you do the shoes, the Kung Fu shoes quarter circle forward attack, you can jump mid-air out of it, which is cool. That was a glitch that was in the backer demo, by the way. Still in the game to this very day, you know. They could have chose to patch it out if they wanted to. We don't know what's going on here. Let's be real. Oh, wait. Did they reload the game because it's faster in game time to get the shard that they need from that? Is that what's happening? I actually don't know from here. This is all new to me. I would have missed the bookshelves in this game for not the overhead icon. RNG manip? Is it an RNG manip? Maybe it is. Very possible. There's those infinite jumps going on here. Accessing the boss from out of bounds? I didn't know you could do this. Oh, and that just skips the boss. I had no clue. Wow. I'll move myself over here, I guess. You guys don't need to see the controller inputs, I don't think. That's a long white screen. There we go. It was loading. It was loading. So at the end of the day, we're going to get a game that is at least this good, which is promising. Because as much as I love to shit on Bloodstained, I do find it fun in a weird masochistic way because it's like this combination of mechanics that I like, a combination of like combat that feels fun and interesting, especially with backdash cancels. It's one of my favorite ways of controlling a character in a game is the way that Igarashi has made backdash cancels work. The only issue is you have to look at a game that looks like this while you do it. But it's fine. It's fine. And also, there's probably going to be 10 billion things to craft and whatnot, but whatever. It's fine. Yeah, I can't help but, like, I wish I could, I wish I had a larger vocabulary to describe the way I feel about the game's environments and how it clashes with the character designs for both the playable character and the enemies. Like, it just doesn't feel cohesive.
Tu peux dropper des trucs?
It feels like I'm constantly being taken out of any possible immersion that could come from playing a video game because it's constantly sending me new types of signals to my brain. That's the best way I can describe it. It's like a freaking radar jammer or something to my brain, where it's like, okay, the backgrounds feel like a completely different vibe and art style from the character designs, which is different from the monster designs, and it's like I don't know. Certain things get like the harsh cell shading, some things don't. The backgrounds are like never blurred in a way that feels like natural, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. It's very strange. And they're doing it again for the new game. And I guess that's the best way to describe it is that, like, I wish there was more artistic cohesion between all the pieces in a way that presents a more readable game. But you're seeing, like, the level of detail in these games that I was talking about before. No, he is just resetting the room to save time on in-game time, I think, while farming for these items. I think that is what's happening. It wasn't an RNG manip. Got it. But yeah, I'm just like looking at the backgrounds and I'm like, yeah, it's the same. It's the same level of like details everywhere that don't necessarily enhance the moment-to-moment gameplay to me. It's one of those things where I guess if you're really taking your time and you want to just like soak in the art of the game, like if you really enjoy all of the different art aspects of the game, it probably doesn't feel too bad to have so much detail. In fact, it probably feels like a plus that's like, wow, this game is so detailed and realized. But for me, it's just doesn't hit, I guess. I don't know. Room title says Castlevania Soten, just FYI. Yeah, we're going to be playing Soten later. Are you going to report me to the Twitch police that I'm technically not playing Soten in this very moment? If so, I understand. I probably do deserve to go to jail for tricking you specifically. Yeah, he needs the chainsaw soul. That makes sense. True arrow. I don't know which souls end up mattering here, to be honest. Well, the game speedruns are being presented via in-game time. So anything that's faster in-game time is more important, even if it means going through a billion different load screens. Like you can see on the right-hand side here, the in-game timer versus the real game timer are separated by quite a bit. Because this is like loadless, basically, times versus the time that they started playing the game. Weird, sure, but okay. That's just how every PC game is. Every PC game that has the ability to rank the game loadless will, because you don't want players with more powerful PC hardware to get an advantage, right? That's just how it works. It's one of the reasons why PC speedruns is, at least to me, kind of annoying. Because of how much extra stuff you have to do to get a game up and running for yourself, but it is what it is. Welcome, Camille. Welcome. This is an interesting speedrun route. Gets the shortcut ability. Doesn't that just let you have multiple shard profiles basically that you can switch between? I wonder how that's useful for a speedrun.
Nous rencontrons
That's
à
the
nouveau la
fastest way to reset for this shard? Okay. This is cool. This is fun. I can't wait to do a speedrun that requires RNG farming. PogChamp.
Tu peux pas être gentil pour une fois? Juste une fin. S'il te plaît. genre,
Very interesting stuff here.
C'est terrible.
I love the backdash cancel animation. It's fine. It's good. Like I said, the gameplay part, barring the visuals, is the one part of these games that I actually really enjoy. And I mean, I am going to play the new Bloodstained, and I am probably going to enjoy it from a casual perspective. I might complain about the way that it looks, but I don't know. Are there people out there that think these games look like good? Like genuinely like, wow, this is exactly what I wanted.
En vrai, ça va. Hein.
This is so beautiful. I'm sure there are, don't get me wrong, but
Ça aurait pas été ouf sinon.
I just want to know if those people exist. Do they feel very much upset by me thinking that the game looks ugly? Or do they say, oh, I can see that? I don't know. It's just hard for me to put myself in the shoes of somebody who likes the aesthetic of these games. Even Fran, somebody who loves these games and is a huge defender of them, says they're ugly as shit. So I don't know. You thought this game looked good your first time playing it? That's crazy to me, but, you know. To each their own, I guess. I don't know. I'm not trying to be too mean about it, because, again, like, I am going to play this game, and I am going to enjoy it. Not this game, but the new one that's coming out. But watching the speedrun of the old one is giving me a lot of the... Because I was going to boot it up and play it myself to talk about my problems with it, but then I realized I'd have to play the game. What the fuck? Huh? Wait, hold on. Never mind. This game's peak? I'm being told that this game is peak, actually? What the fuck did you just do? No, never mind. This game's actually epic. I love this game. This is the best game ever made. I take back everything I ever said, dude. I take back everything I've ever done. What the fuck is he doing? He got eaten by the fucking Iron Maiden and now he's flying through the floor. Bro turned on no clip. Wait, he literally turned on no clip. He has to do the double jump, air jump stuff to move around. What the fuck? What the fuck? This is actually kind of epic. Hold on. Besides all the besides all of the shard farming, this shit looks epic now. Seems like MP management's actually a big deal too, because it does cost magic to do these like air kicks. Yeah, I'm going to shut the... At the end of the day, this is how you know I'm a real one when it comes to speedrunning, because I was complaining like shit about this game, and then all of a sudden cool stuff started happening, and I'm like, never mind. This is actually really cool, and I take it all back. Okay, collision back on. We're on the Bridge of Evil. Look, I'm willing to give it up when a game's got some cool-ass shit in it, okay? Whether it be intentional or not, because this is obviously unintentional, but this shit is cool as hell. Hell yeah. I do also want to say, while this runner is getting through this section here, that I complain because I care, ultimately, right? I'm sure most people maybe see it as indignant, whining, and ungrateful, blah, blah, blah. We should kiss the feet of Igarashi for having made my favorite video game, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, in 1997, and I've been riding that high ever since, playing it in my grandma's basement off of a CRT filter, monitor, whatever. I get it, but also... Okay, collision off now. Hell yeah. I get it, but also it's like, I don't know. I want these games to be good more than anyone else in the world. It would be so awesome for these games to be better. And they are fun, and they are good. It's just, like, my biggest complaint is the way that they look. I really wish they had invested in... Even if they were going to go with the 3D route, like, I really wish they invested in, like, taking more care to having a cohesive visual design for these games. I really, really do. Okay, we can't see shit, but something's going on here. Yeah, I don't want to say that the quality of any of the assets being made is like poor or whatever. It's more so just the cohesion of it all and the readability in the moment-to-moment gameplay. This is another area that is like very awkward to maneuver gameplay-wise because like it's hard to tell where the slope hitboxes are. And it becomes visually messy in a lot of ways. Like, I personally would be so much happier if they simplified the art style. Like, immensely. For all things. The backgrounds, the characters, everything. Like, a more simplistic looking art style, to me, would go a long way to help with readability. Thicker outlines on the characters would be nice. What the fuck? Flashing lights warning? What the fuck is this shit? It hurts my eyes. It's only doing 19 damage. What's the chair doing? Oh my god. I'm going to make the screen a little bit smaller so it's less aggressive. Holy fuck. It is stacking. You're not wrong. Never mind. I don't want to speedrun this anymore. That hurts my eyes. 2.5D aesthetic is more miss than hit. Yeah. It does look really bad when when Arc System Works announces a new game at the same convention or same what is it called? Announced state of play or whatever the fuck we're calling those things. So how do you kill the final boss? Is it the same shit? Okay, we don't need to watch this. Okay, understood. Long story short, how we feeling about Bloodstained? What the fuck is it called? Scarlet Engagement. Is it peak? Is it ass? I will say, the footage here, actually, now that we've just swapped, I think the bitrate is just higher in this trailer. It's like 0.5% better. It does look slightly better in a lot of ways. So maybe I was being too much of a hater. I still don't like it, though. I still don't like it. I will play it. I will enjoy the gameplay, but I still don't like the way that it looks. I don't know. But I don't know. What do you think? Let me know. I'm a big, dumb, stupid idiot that only likes games that are pixel art from 1997 or whatever, maybe. Who's to say? Yeah, I think it is slightly better than Ritual, but it's still rough. Either way, I don't know. That's all I got for today. I do want the game to succeed and do well. and I am excited to play a new game from Igarashi. And if it has like Portrait of Ruin mechanics and stuff like that, it's gonna be fun. At the very least, it's gonna be fun. Controlling 2 characters is gonna be interesting. We'll see. Either way, thanks for watching, YouTube. I will be back to playing video games soon, I promise. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.